The former prosecutor who allegedly rushed Hunter Biden's investigation refused to answer questions in a closed-door meeting.
Ms. Wolf refused to answer most of our questions. Even, we had a number of exhibits where she's sending the email, she's receiving the email, and she refused to answer just about every question it seemed we had.
This, as insiders close to the Bidens say Hunter's legal troubles are affecting Joe more than he wants us to know. So the copy on that, what I just read, it was not very clear. So she actually told people to stand down who were following leads to Joe Biden. That's why she was called into that hearing, not because she was rushing through it like, she had something on her calendar. No, she told people not to go there.
That's exactly right. And I'm a former FBI special agent. One of the reasons that I left is that the FBI has been politicized and weaponized. But it's important to note that it's also the Department of Justice. And at the end of the day, the FBI reports to the Department of Justice. And Leslie Wolf, she had a lot of power in this investigation. As the AUSA, the Assistant United States Attorney, she makes certain decisions. And these investigators and agents had enough probable cause to execute search warrants, for instance, on certain locations. And they were told, stand down. And that, as an agent, no, you gather the evidence. If it's there and you've got the PC, you take it to the prosecutor, you get the warrant. And they were told no. And her response was, is the juice worth the squeeze? Well, I've noticed a pattern. The juice is only worth the squeeze when it's going after former President Donald Trump. They had
or the January 6th,
right? Or his supporters, because they had no problem executing the search warrant at Mar-a-Lago. They're all about optics. Well, the optics didn't seem to matter then. Those were very poor optics. But that double system of justice in the United States, Americans aren't having it.
So I didn't properly introduce you, Nicole. You did work for the FBI. I'm sorry about that. I was so jazzed up about how that was written because I wanted to make sure our viewers understood, what we were talking about exactly. And these are the reasons why you left the FBI. There's another story, of course, that were heavily redacted records that show that the FBI was targeting Catholics beyond what we even know so far. What do you know about that? Any developments?
I think it's absolutely abhorrent.
Yeah.
The FBI has no business going after any religion, especially Catholics. It is not appropriate. And the fact that this got through multiple systems of checks and balances is disgusting. These new records indicate that the CDC, which is known as the Chief Division Counsel, had allegedly approved this as well. That is the head of the legal department for each field office. Each field office has a CDC, and it's showing that this individual signed off on it as well.
So what is the rationale behind it? Is it to say conservative, traditional Catholics, who, by the way, are the most peaceful people I know, are white supremacists? Is that part of this whole sort of we're trying to justify that we have a whole department dedicated to domestic white terrorists?
What it comes down to is that they labeled them as, violent extremists, potential violent extremists. And it's just not true. It's false. It's embarrassing. And the FBI should be ashamed.
It's embarrassing. My mom is not a domestic terrorist. She's a traditional Latin Mass Catholic. My dad is too. So, it's insane. Just kind of going back on some of this DEI stuff, which is kind of, again, why you couldn't stand working there anymore. This week, as we have heightened terror, we have IEDs coming over the southern border, more terror threats than have seen in years and years. And now the FBI has come out with a very important press release that's supposed to make us feel really safe. And that is that they added IA at the end of LGBTQ. Let's send so hold the press. hold the press here.
Right.
We're going to have LGBTQIA. We need to really make sure we put that out there.
That's right. And it was LGBTQIA+.
IA+.
I just think someone's sexual preference and what they choose to do behind closed doors is no one's business, and especially at the FBI. Your number one priority as an FBI special agent or employee is to protect the American people. Your job is to uphold the Constitution and protect our national security. We are at heightened alerts across the board right now with what's happening in the Middle East and everywhere. There is a problem when this is a priority to make sure that you put that messaging out to all FBI employees. It was an email that came out yesterday. It's gone viral. Everyone knows about it. That's not what the FBI should be focused on. Our adversaries are probably laughing in our faces that we're so concerned about that rather than going after the true adversaries.
Yeah, we just gave appropriated billions, I think, I don't know how many millions of dollars to the new FBI building. I can't remember. That's on the Republicans to do that. The real travesty is they lost people like you. Nicole Parker, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.